You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
So glad you're with us on this President's Day Monday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Irampour. Thank you for joining us here. You'll notice, a little fog. Let's check in with Evan, see what we can expect today.
Yeah, fog's going to hang out with us for the next couple of hours through about 8 a.m. We're going to watch to see if that leads to any difficulty out at San Diego International, of course. That's always a trouble spot when we see less than a mile or so of visibility, and we do have that on hand. But by 8, 9 a.m., clouds start to break apart. We move toward a partly cloudy afternoon. Temperatures expected to hit the mid-60s out by the coast, right around average. Low 70s inland. Here's what visibility looks like right now. We are at that solid 1 mile in San Diego, half a mile in Kearney Mesa, 9 miles in Ramona. So we've seen some improvements in the area, and fog is patchy, but cloud cover is pretty universal along the coast. Coming up, we will talk more about what to expect through the week, including a little bit of a warm-up by the weekend. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Evan, for that. And now this morning, we are keeping a close watch on these recovery efforts for the military jet that crashed into the San Diego Bay last week.
Yeah, over the weekend, divers helped pull pieces of the aircraft out of the water. CBS 8's Virginia Irita live in Shelter Island with details on this recovery timeline here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. Right now, the U.S. Navy saying the recovery operation could take up to 2 weeks. That is essentially trying to clear up any debris from that jet and the plane in general, clear it out of the water, since the military fighter jet remains still in the San Diego Bay. Now, let's get to some video here, because over the weekend we did notice Navy divers. They were trying to clear out some of the first pieces of the jet inside the water. You can see at one point they even recovered the engine. The extraction process has been somewhat challenging, especially last week because of the weather. We were dealing with rain for several days, but this week they're going to take advantage of the warmer conditions. Right now, an orange boom is still surrounding that crash site. It's supposed to help keep any oil or fuel from spreading. On Friday, we did notice the boom getting moved, shrinking the perimeter of the scene here, but still blocking part of the main channel to get in and out of the Shelter Island Basin. During the recovery effort, some debris may float and wash ashore in areas away from the crash site, so the public is being advised not to approach, touch, or collect any of that debris. Navy divers are the ones taking care of any pieces, and they're in charge of recovering any debris that might wash ashore. The U.S. Navy says they remain dedicated to safely recovering the wreckage, but right now their biggest concern is the safety of those near it, and that includes nearby businesses and boats who pass through here but are unable to because it's currently blocked off. Smaller boats are able to use the more shallow section of the channel here, known as the shortcut, but as we heard from several local businesses, that doesn't work for everyone. Today being that it's President's Day, many boaters who own a company here are concerned they will be losing out of revenue. Take a listen to what they told us.
We've had to cancel everything because they're not letting us move today. But tomorrow we're sold out. Sunday we're sold out. Monday's a holiday. So it's going to have a huge financial impact.
Now, it's still pretty dark right now, so we can't really give you a good image right now, but as we get more daylight, you can kind of see that orange boom, as well as charter buses monitoring that section where it's blocked off. As far as that crash site, or at least why that crash happened, that is still under investigation. We'll try to get you guys more details, but for now, that is the latest here in Shelter Island. I'll send it back to you.
Regina, thank you. This week, State Senate Minority Leader Brian Jones of San Diego is expected to unveil a new bill aimed at changing California's sanctuary law. Jones's bill would require local law enforcement to cooperate with ICE for people convicted of serious or violent crimes. His bill also prevents local governments from passing stronger sanctuary policies than at the state level. This challenges the San Diego County Board of Supervisors' recent decision to limit resources for immigration enforcement. Also this morning, the burn permit suspension in San Diego County will be lifted. The county fire chief says cooler temperatures, higher humidity, and recent rainfall have lowered the risk of wildfires. CAL FIRE permits are required for all residential and agricultural burns. A CAL FIRE inspection is required before any agricultural burn is conducted, and it may be required for certain residential burns. Anyone intending to burn material must contact their local CAL FIRE office first. The permit suspension will be officially lifted at 7 a.m.
Today is, of course, President's Day, and there are some closures you may need to know about for today. All city and county administrative offices will be closed. Trash will still be collected as scheduled in the city of San Diego, so still put your bin out. There will be no street sweeping, and parking meters will not be enforced. MTS says all trolley lines and bus routes are now running on a Sunday schedule. It'll return to regular schedule for tomorrow. So I know a lot of students are home for today. maybe it's a good day to get out to the park.
Yes,
I don't
get
know,
'em outside. Yes.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yesterday was a great day out at the park. I was
Very
at the
nice.
park and we were like, wow, it's so busy here this afternoon. And then someone was like, that's because no one here works tomorrow because
Right,
it's
it's a
President's
holiday.
Day. I was like,
Yes.
what's everyone doing with like beers out
Yeah,
at the
on a
park? I was
Sunday.
like, this is crazy. Yeah, if you're off today, enjoy the day. We have a lot of sunshine in the forecast by the afternoon. So we start off the morning with that typical marine layer. This is allowing for a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere out by the coastline. Going to be today and tomorrow that we have it in play. Wednesday, Thursday, there's another chance for more cloud cover to build, but it doesn't seem like it will be as intense as this morning and tomorrow morning. No wet weather out there. We are dry virtually county-wide. Most of our cameras from across the county are beautiful right now, so that cloud cover already starting to lift. By about 8, 9 a.m., we'll start to see some of those clouds break apart, and we'll get a bit of the sun on hand. Temperatures expected to make their way to the mid-60s by the afternoon hours, and mid-60s are going to be pretty common for a good portion of the work week out by the coast, low 70s inland. So a little bit colder as we start off the morning. Jacket's going to come in handy for the early morning stretch all the way through about 9, 10 a.m., and then you should be able to dress in layers. Peel that layer off, get into the t-shirt by the afternoon. Julian and really our mountains and deserts in general are looking at a good amount of wind this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon. No wind advisory right now just because those winds don't get intense enough to allow for that wind advisory, but gusts are still going to be around 30 miles per hour by the afternoon, sustained speeds closer to 20 miles per hour. And enjoy the week out there. We have no chance of rain in the forecast, or at least chances are below 10% every day, which means we get a break from all of that wet weather. Afternoon highs for us in San Diego out by the coast expected to be in the 60s almost across the board. La Jolla could be at 59 degrees this afternoon, but you get those 70s as you make your way inland. La Mesa at 71, Santee and El Cajon at 75 this afternoon. Let's check in on your roads. It's been mainly fog that we've been watching for this morning. And you can see how that is still an issue. Areas in yellow, that's close to the coast essentially, areas that you could run into some dense fog. We also have this crash that just popped up around Solana Beach. Number 1 lane is blocked with a crash on the 5 southbound at Lomas Santa Fe Drive. Delays are starting to build as you look toward those southbound lanes from Encinitas towards Solana Beach. Let's check in on your border wait times right now, where it's a pretty quick commute. San Ysidro Port of Entry only about an hour. Otay Mesa Port of Entry much quicker, about 15 minutes in total. It is President's Day after all, so that could also play a role in those faster speeds across the border this morning.